Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's time for a controversial view. Happy Halloween, everyone. Today, we're going to be talking about Crybaby Lane. First, a special thank you to the Horror Man for making this copy for me. I have kind of a sordid history with this, but I wanted to thank him for actually making a real copy so I can actually see the entire show. And I will explain. This also comes with the commercials as well. He burnt two different copies for me. Now, Crybaby Lane originally aired on October 28th of 2000. And there is quite a bit of controversy about this little film here. Now, how I was introduced to this. About 3 years ago, Joe had done a segment for recommendations for the month of October. And he talked about Crybaby Lane. And I was extremely curious. So, they had a copy of it on YouTube to watch, I actually watched it on YouTube. Unfortunately, I don't know whether they didn't tape the whole thing because this never got a physical release. This was aired on Nickelodeon, as I said, October 28th of 2000, and hasn't gotten a VHS, a DVD, or any other type of release. So when I researched this, wasn't really sure about it, just that Joe had recommended it, and I thought it sounded interesting. I ended up watching it, and there was quite a bit cut out. Now, I just think that the people had the copy that they had, and, they decided to put it up because watching some of it is better than watching none of it, I guess. So when Joe made me this copy, and we sat down to watch it, I noticed right away that something was different. There was an intro and an explanation, kind of a story and a narration by Frank Langella, who actually plays in Crybaby Lane. That wasn't in the original that I saw. So my relationship with it is very different than my relationship now because I saw a different cut of it. Now, the controversy. As I said, this was aired on October 28th. And back then, Nickelodeon, things were different. You didn't quite have as many people that were so uptight as they are now. But there were still a few, and apparently a lot of parents complained because this was too scary, even though it was on uh, Teen Nick, I guess it would be called. And, they complained anyway, and it never aired again. Fast forward 10 years later, they decided to air it because of popular demand, and since then, it's been largely forgotten. The original airing, of course, Melissa Joan Hart is like not a host, but a commercial. She filmed some stuff when she was doing Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and that is the in between parts in the commercials and all. But it's very interesting. It's a really interesting story. I definitely recommend you watch it. It's a lot darker than you'll see on TV nowadays, and it's actually a lot of fun. One other thing about this was actually supposed to be a full length feature film before Nickelodeon decided to air it on television. Now, there's no cursing or nudity or anything like that, but like I said, the content is extremely dark and it's a lot of fun. It really is. This is one for controversial view that Joe and I think you should watch because some of them may not be for everyone. And that's true with just about every film. But this, of course, was played on a family oriented channel. And even though I think it was really dark for its day, it has a lot of value. And I think it's a really good film to show around Halloween. It's a shame that it's been largely forgotten. And with physical media dying, there's probably not a chance it'll ever get a physical release from Nickelodeon, which is a shame because this is really good. Now, the runtime that Joe and I watched was an hour and 10 minutes. There's also an hour and 25-hour, 30-minute alternate cut he put on there. But the difference is basically commercials and the intros and outros with Sabrina or Melissa Joan Hart. Really interesting to see the commercials from back then and how young she was at the time. Definitely check this one out. And don't forget to check out Joe's controversial view for Crybaby Lane. Physical media matters. Happy Halloween.